Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Leeuwen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
It's hard to imagine we're almost at the halfway stage already this year. We're in Tartu in Estonia. The most amazing city, lovely part. These Baltic towns are so wonderful and pretty. The Baltic countries, in fact, the people are wonderful. There's so much history here, as you can imagine, and outside the town, the Lange Motorkeskus complex. The season kicked off in Spain, Talavera de la Reina, and it was double bubble for Marvin van Leeuwen. Then on to Portugal, Aqui de Novos Torres, double win again, maximum points for this pair. The deep sound of Herder was a different topic though. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart were on home soil here. They made the most of it. Not so for Justin Kerben. He blew an engine. With it went the chance of a podium in Herder. But it was Hermans van den Bogart who emerged victorious. Then Brew, what a different story that was. Fantastic, fantastic racing in front of a huge crowd. Van Leeuwen, Nicola Muset, victorious. This is Bruno Lielbardis. We're not quite in home ground in Latvia, but they have a whole host of fans and supporters who will be coming here to Estonia to see the boys. Bruno, you have a huge following. The weather's good. You expect a lot of people to come.
Yeah, a lot of people said they will come, so yeah, we expected a lot of people. Yeah, we got some stuff to sell. And yeah, we have the Team Lielbardis Club, so you can, if you want to support us, you can support us here. As you can see, there's a lot of room here for supporters, so yeah, we are really excited for all the fans.
So every name on that board has helped you in some way towards your racing. That's a big, big plus, isn't it?
Yeah, without them we couldn't do this, so yeah, it's good.
Does that bring pressure to you to have the local fans supporting you?
I mean, maybe a little bit of pressure because we want to do it better than all the other results, but I think no, before the gate drop, it's always the same.
In the standings, you're a little bit off the front pack, but you could easily make up a lot of ground this weekend with two good rides.
Yeah, we know we need to get two good starts, and both races need to finish like in top 6, and then we can, in the end of the season, we can easily, I think, get top 6. So yeah.
Yeah. Has this season surprised you, disappointed you in any way?
I think we are happy with our speed, but we are consistent enough because only one race in every race, only one race is good. So yeah, we need to get more consistent and then we will be happy.
Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman have shown speed this season that I've not seen before, but for a breakdown, they could be in a really, really strong championship challenging position. That was a bad day for you, wasn't it?
Which one?
The breakdown. The
oh, the breakdown, the engine. Yeah, that was very terrible. Yeah, we were on line to finish our first time on the podium. Was in second place, and then the engine breakdown. So that was a bit heartbreaking. Yeah.
What's happened this year? You are so quick this year. We haven't seen this level of speed before. Where did it come from?
Yeah, same that I told you in Spain. We've shown the speed last year also a few times, but we did not. We had a few injuries, so we had a lack of bike time. And this year we had a pretty good preparation. So.
What did you do last year here? I can't remember. I maybe should have checked. But was it a good weekend for you?
No. I rode with Costas because Dion was injured, and in the fourth lap of free practice, Costas broke his wrist, so we could go home.
You're obviously hoping for a better weekend, and you stand a strong chance, Justin. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a track with sand, jumps. It suits me, so maybe we can aim this weekend for the podium again.
I'm really pleased to be looking at the track this weekend with Daniel Lielbardis, not least of all because he's a young talent, but because there's a lot of Latvian supporters here. They've been shouting all the way through qualifying for you, but this track with its big jumps, not easy. You have to be brave, huh?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of big jumps. You can make mistakes easy, but I like the track. We have driven 2 years ago in this track. The track is good, and I think tomorrow it will be really good.
We're walking up the last jump now, which with the finish board over the top. This is the last one, and then you start a new lap. But all the way round. How many jumps in total? I don't know. 15 at least, I would say.
at least.
It's a lot of jumps. And when we look at that one that we've just come down, that is incredible, isn't it? Are you brave enough to do the double off that?
We haven't jumped it yet, but I think tomorrow, if we get a good start, then we can drive behind someone and jump it.
Yeah,
so
you'll get caught up in the moment, won't you? If somebody goes over, you'll go with them for sure.
Definitely.
You can't just let them get away.
Yeah.
You come down here then, and we look at this bend here. With the exception of two, everybody has a right-hand sidecar.
Yeah.
But there are two left-handeds here. What do? Do you just drop into that deep rut and power it round?
Yeah, we just drop into the rut and go full gas all the way.
I love the word full gas, you know. Full gas is something you do at your age, you don't necessarily do it at my age. But it is a deep rut. Do you see it getting any deeper tomorrow in the races?
Yeah, I think in the second race it will be pretty deep, but it's good that they flatten the track because it's the start and it won't be so bad, I think.
But Daniel, this is rideable, isn't it? It's got good hard bottom. It's not going to dig out like Lommel.
Yeah, definitely. It's not so like Lommel, but it's still sandy, but it's still, in the deep sand, it's still hard in the rut.
And do you like a track like this? You've got a bit of everything, haven't you? You've got jumps, you've got hard going, you've got a bit of sand.
Yeah.
Is it something you like?
Yeah, I like this track. It's pretty hard, it's technical. It's easy to make mistakes, but the track is really good.
You don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
The first of two qualification races, the Latvian flag. The Leeuwarden supporters are here in numbers. Let's have a look. That's Koen Hermans. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart out in front. Gert van Verven going up the bank. Kerben is there in second place. Then it's Van Lukenen and Nicola Muset, the red plate holders. Who else can we pick out? That's Tanel Riesner, the number 34 Estonian. He had a good start. He had a good ride here last year. Turned upside down on the start-finish straight, if I can remember. But Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart out in front, Kerben in second, Van Lukenen right with him. They're pushing hard. The Leeuwarden boys are, oh dear me, that was a bit squiggly from Kerben, but he is quick, there's no doubt about that. Very committed to Zabel. There they go, there's Van Lukenen, still the red plate on the back of Justin Kerben. Gert van Verven having recovered from that wide exit to the bend, which almost took him up into the chestnut palings, into the fence. But look at Hermans, got a massive lead already. He's away with it. He is away with it. The Leeuwarden boys are now moving strongly in fourth place. A big kick in the face. Sand from Kerben, Van Lukenen, Kerben and Dion Rietman. 101 Leeuwarden boys, well in fourth. Lots of flags, lots of air horns here from the Latvian support. Oh, magnificent from Van Lukenen. That was total commitment and brave. And how brave do you want it? And that's what you've got to do. I was saying earlier that he had one or two sort of steering damper issues, the thing shaking its head an awful lot. These sandy ruts on takeoff. Here they come then, Stefan Veers, Van der Putten, and right behind him, Gert van Verven, Robert de Veda. Recovering from that first turn episode. Van Verven is not happy in these conditions. I spoke to him after free practice, and he's not overly confident on the jumps. He said last year wasn't particularly good for us here either. Doesn't like the going here. But he'll get to grips with it, there's no doubt about that. We're not yet halfway through the season. Stefan Veers then, around the long way, Gert van Verven. Who's that with them? That's Gert Gordiev's in there somewhere, isn't he? Oh no, that's the left-hand chair of Marco Heinze. Marco Heinze and Rudy Bertschott, yellow helmets, the Swiss pairing. Hasn't had the best of luck recently. Blew an engine, had a mechanical problem in Brew, and that's dropped them down. But here goes Heinze. Heinze then on Stefan Veers, the left-handed chair, not really suited. There are only two of them here, Brett Wilkinson being the other one. He and Joe Millard will be out in qualifying race B. Heinze on it, full gas, as the Leeuwarden boys would say, round there. Van Verven, full gas for him. But now Heinze is away with it. Still looking now at Justin Kerben, Dion Rietman. And they are ahead again of Marvin van Leeuwen, who has dropped back a bit after that very brave lunge at Justin Kerben. But out in front, Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart, leading by a country mile in qualifying race for the Group A competitors. Only 21 completed the lineup here, so everybody got the start and everybody got paid. But what a race so far for these guys. Home and dry in this one, unless some misfortune befalls them. But they don't look like putting much of a foot wrong. And indeed, they have not. A shake of the hands, victory then. And second place for Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman. Brilliant ride for them. Van Leeuwen, Nicolas Musset bringing it home in third. The red plate holders, number 2, still with a strong championship lead. It's going to be fourth for the Leeuwardis boys. There it is, home and dry for them. Marco Heinze up to 5th. Confirmation of that then. Hermans, Kerben, Van Leeuwen, Leeuwardis. Heinze 5th, as I say. Gert van Verven, Stefan Viers, Gert Gordiev 8th. Tanel Riester finished 9th. Ula Kari, another local guy, in 10th place.
At the moment we are struggling a little bit. It's not going the way I want to go. But I think we still have the speed to go with the front. We need to work something on ourselves also. Because Rob is a little bit injured and myself also a little bit. So we need to progress every weekend and see that we can solve it, and then we can give it a go again.
You're working well as a team. I mean, you look good when you're riding, but is it a bit psychological, do you think?
No, it's not in my head. It's just when I have a good start, then the rest will come from itself. It's hard to come from the back. That's always a difficult situation, and especially here with the big jumps. And if you need to make other lines, it's harder to make the pass. But if you are in the front, then I think it's easier and to give it a go.
Away we go then. A limited number on the grid, just 11 lining up. Who's got this one? Well, that's Tim Prumer. Jano Stegman's out in front, looking around the outside. That was a cracking start by Brett Wilkinson. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, 199. What a start for them, right round the outside, and they're out in front already. The only left-handed sidecar in the race. Tim Prumer, Jano Stegman's, the German-Belgian duo, right behind them. Then who's that pushing? Davy Sanders is up there as well. Tom van der Lagermaat had a really strong start. Jason Van Dalen dropping back just a little bit there. The red trousers for that pair. Jason Van Dalen, Kostas Baletskas. Van Dalen admitted that he's not particularly keen on this place, but at the front, Tim Prumer is going with Brett Wilkinson. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, who need to redress the balance on their points standings. They lost a little bit of ground from earlier in the season, but they're riding hard. They know how to charge. This is only the qualifying races, of course, but it will determine where they start on this all-important short start straight. It's a quick dash to the right-hander. They need to know where they're going. There's Davy Sanders, Luc Rostang. Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak had a dreadful start, so they're fighting their way through, but it's not going to be easy to pass on this difficult track. Wilkinson, Millard, a look over the shoulder. Prumer coming. Sanders up there in a strong position. And now Bax up to 4th, right on the back end of Sanders. Bax and Chermak. Here comes Etienne Bax, the 82, as he got through on the inside. Prumer. Bax is now up to Prumer and closing hard. 3rd place now. Etienne Bax, Andre Chermak, behind Tim Prumer, Jano Stegmans. Jano, the son of Peter Stegmans, a former motocross rider, sidecar rider, who they shared an outfit in Kramelin last year when it was Peter's last Grand Prix and Jano's first. Now the young boy is with Tim Prumer and doing a great job, both of them. A young team with eyes on the future, eyes on stardom. They're leading the reigning champions here in qualifying group. Here comes Bax. Bax, how brave is he going to be round the outside and over the jump here? Looking at the outside line, the cutting out is quite deep on those ruts, but he's got it. Bax is in front, yes, chops back inside, up to second place for Etienne Bax and Andre Cermak. Now ahead of them and gone, out front, Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, there they are. There they are then, looking really coming around behind the tail enders, but Bax is now on them. Etienne Bax is right on them in this qualifying Group B race. This will be about 12 laps by the time they've finished. 20 minutes and 2 laps, the duration of these races. 10 minutes shorter than the Grand Prix races themselves, of course. Bax stalking Brett Wilkinson now. Left-hand chair versus right-hand chair. You can see the difference in the lines. Look at Bax flying around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? We'll see him when he comes over the top of it. Yes, he did. Bax is in front. Bax leads. Bax leads Wilkinson. Wilkinson, having got the whole shot, is not going to be able to hold it here. Etienne Bax has gone past again. Wilkinson looking at the inside. What a race. Third place for Pruma at the moment. Pruma Jano Stegman's looking anxiously over his shoulder to see who's coming. Number 17 crew. What an Estonian Grand Prix they're having. The number 43, Argo Polsar and Ryan Valkmeyer. Davy Sanders, Luke Rostang coming round behind the tail enders. Number 99, Tom van der Lagemat and Han van Hal ahead of Jason van Dalen and Kostas Beletskas. So they're having a good battle further down the order. They are in 5th and 6th places at the moment. Van Dalen not happy in these conditions, doesn't like the sand. Loves the hard pack and is fast and dramatic. Etienne Bax, race leader, coming around to wrap this one up from a very bad start, so he's got the speed. He and Andre Cermak looking good here. Checkered flag awaits for them. And over they go, taking victory. Second place for Brett Wilkinson. However, afterwards, Bax penalised for noise and demoted 5 places to 6th. Wilkinson gets victory despite being second on the track. Etienne Bax does not get any luck here in Lange at all. Last year, he had a dispute on a yellow flag and was demoted. Everyone behind him moves up. There it is then, Brett Wilkinson, Pruma, Sanders, top 3. Van der Lagemat 4th, brilliant for those young men. Van Dalen, Etienne Bax in 6th as a result of that excess noise penalty ahead of Visselink, Lietze, Adrian Petter and Polsar.
Well, we had too much noise. I don't know, we're struggling with this whole season already, and but yesterday we thought we had found a solution. We had 113 dB. And just after the race we had 117, so it is what it is. We need to start from 12th position tomorrow in the race, and we will see. We're lucky that it's sandy track here, so I think it's possible during the race to overtake.
Yeah, you proved that you can come through. It's hard work, but it can be done.
Yeah, it's better to be fighting from behind here than, let's say, Kremlin or something. It's much easier here, so let's hope that we can do this and still battle for the podium.
Tom, we've not done one of these before. It's lovely to see you here. You're getting under the radar and looking good.
Yeah, first time here in the interview. No, it's getting along better every weekend from now, and then especially here. Love the track, so it's going quite good here all weekend long. So hopefully we can score some good points tomorrow.
What about those jumps? I mean, they're quite fearsome, aren't they? You really have to commit.
Yeah, especially the triple, but I love them. It's third time here. First time that I hit the triple then, but I love the big jumps here. So they are smooth, so yeah, lovely.
We continue our spotlight feature, and the stars of the show this time around. I've got one gentleman who's got 4 titles and another gentleman who's still looking for his first. Welcome, Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bergart. Good to see you both. Is this going to be the day you're going to climb to the top of the podium again?
Well, we do every weekend our best, and of course we'll make a good chance to stay on the podium. So let's see what the weekend brings.
Yeah, this is a good season unfolding, isn't it? And as you say, the top three of you are fighting really, really hard, and it's closing up round after round, and there's still so far to go.
Yeah, but I think that's also nice. If it's close to each other, it's also nice for everyone to watch. When someone in front is far away from the second or third, then yeah, it's not so nice as now.
I think I know what a title would mean to you, but all you guys, you never think of the title, you think of it race by race. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, yeah, of course I'm always thinking about this title, that's my dream, and we will look race by race, but of course in my head, I'm still dreaming about this.
There's always been in the winter season a bit of musical chairs. I mean, that seems to be a bit traditional with sidecar motocross, whichever country you're in. How do you find riding with Koen? You've had a lot of experience, 4 titles, a variety of drivers.
Yeah, Koen is a very talented guy, and he's not the most explosive guy next to the bike. So talking is good, and the band next to the bike is also good. And it's a little bit building up trust. So far so good. We started the season quiet, and we try to build up every week.
Bikes improve, the technology improves. Do you have a favourite year of yours, Koen, that jumps out? And I'll ask Ben the same question in a minute.
Well, in 2019 the speed was the best, but we had a lot of problems, technical problems. So I think the speed in this year was one of the best. So that was my year normally.
Your favourite year, Ben?
Oh, that's difficult. Yeah, of course, 4 years that I had the title together with Ben. The second year was, the second year in a row together with the same team. So that was maybe a little bit less. First world title, then you never forget that moment. But then with Jan Hendricks, for example, he never had the world title. He had 9 medals or 8. All silver or bronze, and if you can end his career then with a world title, it's also beautiful. With Marvin also together built from place 9, he was 9th in the championship. Then he never won a race on a Saturday. We made it, never did a race one, never had a red plate, and we did it all in a row. We won that year 5 GPs in a row. That's also very special. So it's difficult to choose one year, but I hope 2023 will be another year like this.
Yeah, I would like it for both of you, really, because I'd like Koen to get his first title, and I'd like you to get another one. Not to retire, but to get another title. It would be great. Thank you both for talking to us, and just have a safe and successful week.
Thank you.
Race day in Lange, Estonia, Tartu, the biggest city in the region, and that's where we're based for this fabulous motocross round 6. 2 races coming up. A very diverse culture here, people from all walks of life. Just 5 kilometres outside, the motocross track is where all the action is going to be, and many, many spectators, a lot of them from Latvia. Riders' presentation time. The FIM delegates, of course, do their thing. The WSC ladies are poised, and the track has never been more ready. This is where the crowd gets to see the riders, meets their idols, and autographs are signed. Time for us to meet 1 or 2 of the teams. Tim Prummer and Janos Stegmans are well placed in the top 10, and if their qualifying speed is anything to go by, this is going to be a good weekend for them. Tim, you are really, really fast, but the start is important here, right?
Yeah, sure. And I think also the gate pick is important here. We have a 90-degree right-hand corner, so the inside line is where we want to be, and with the fourth place in qualification we are.
You told me about your engine setup, and you're basically using a production bike, and yet this thing is really fast. How is that?
Yeah, it's a strong engine. We work with the KTM LC4 engine with 690 CCM. It's tuned by my mechanic, and electric is done by IMS, Glenn Woodman. And that combination is very powerful, and I think it worked really well.
Koen Hermans and Ben van den Boogaard showed great speed in qualifying yesterday. They absolutely blew everybody else away. Koen, are you going to carry that speed into the races? Because if you do, you're home and dry.
Well, yeah, the start is really important. Yesterday we had a good start, and yeah, then it's better to find your lines, and we can still jump everything. So yeah, this morning, yeah, the rounds were again good. So yeah, we are ready.
Jumping is so important here. The start is important, definitely, because it's short, but the jumps are important, and you do need to commit to them, don't you?
Yeah, you got two big ones. You got the step up and you got the step down. And yeah, the step down, it's quite difficult. I think only 3 or 4 people are jumping this. So yeah, if you can jump this the whole race, then you win a lot of time. So we will try this for sure.
Well, here's how they line up then. Quickest by a country mile, Hermans and Van den Boogaard. Brett Wilkinson, fast. Kerben, Pruma, Van Luken and Sanders. Well, you can see that's how they are. Right down the order, Etienne Bax with that penalty of 5 places. A lot of local talent here as well. They'll all be going for glory. Wouldn't you? I would. Well, the excitement's building. Riders having a last-minute look at everything, getting themselves psyched up. That start's going to be so important. You've got to start on the hard right, but if you do that, you must make it first into the bend. Will Hermans. Let's wait and see. Race 1 just round the corner. Right then, the air horns are going, the gates down, and away they go. Looking at this side, I can see Stefan Veers hard on this side, but look at that. It's Koen Hermans, Ben van den Boogaard, number 3. They did it from the hard right. Van Luken has gone with them. Jason Van Dalen, Kostas Baletskas in there. There is Kerben, there's Pruma. Over they go, thick and fast, and now this great big double jump they have to negotiate. This one, of course, much more circumspect. It's an easier single top jump, but there across the back, out in front, it's Hermans. I can see Pruma, that big KTM got him off the line. Race leaders then, going through. Van Luken, Kerben up to 3rd, Jason Van Dalen. The Lille Bardis boys are in there, there's Pruma. What a start these guys have had. That's the left-hand chair of Marco Heinze. Marco Heinze, Rudy Betchart, one of 2 left-hand sidecars. Wilkinson's the other one. Where's Brett Wilkinson? Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, not in the frame at the moment. Pruma. Who's that going over there? There's Gert van Verven. There's a big jump in the air from there. Stefan Vyers. There's Brett Wilkinson. Brett Wilkinson ahead of Tim Pruma and Jarno Stegmans. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard in the dark blue strip, and the left-hand chair disappearing out of sight down the back. There's Heinze. Wilkinson behind Heinze now. So the 2 left chairs, there's really only one line round here, and you have to make it yourself because all the right-hand chairs make their own line very, very clearly. On they go. Can't see the numbers, they get so filled in with sand. You can imagine why there's Davy Sanders there. And there's Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax, Andre Chermak, making way through the field. They obviously had a torrid start from where they were. 12th fastest, 12th pick of the gates. Right on the far left they were. But they are really, really charging here. Look at Bax round the outside. Sliding through another one, that's on Davy Sanders. So Bax and Cermak are on a massive charge here. They're now behind Prummer. No, they're not. They're alongside and in front of Tim Prummer, Jarno Stegmans. Bax, well, he doesn't get any luck here at Lange. Last year penalised for what was deemed to be a flag infringement. This year penalised and pushed back 6 places on the start grid for noise because when he was tested after qualifying, he was over the limit. Now Tim Prummer has got the Lealbardis twins for company, the 101 colourfully shirted pair. These boys, I think they've just turned 17. 16 most of last season, so they must be 17, if not very close to it now. But a huge gathering here. Heinze on the back of Brett Wilkinson now, so Wilkinson has made his way past Heinze. He and Joe Millard are making their way up through the field after getting shoved off the line, and I didn't have time to mention that. They had a coming together off the line when the gate dropped, and that robbed them of several places. Bax going like a train here. Lealbardis boys going like a train, but there's Bax. Bax and Cermak sort of making place after place. Now they're on the back of Brett Wilkinson. Etienne Bax, 82, Andre Cermak with him. On the back of Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard. Different lines, of course, right-hand chair, left-hand chair. Brett Wilkinson's brave over these jumps. Look at Bax down the inside. Like a train on those rails, through he went. Now he's got Jason Van Dalen. Look how quickly he's making up ground here. Different lines, Van Dalen taking the long way round, Bax the short one and making it work. My goodness me, he's on a mission here. Just imagine what would have happened if he'd been in a good grid slot. Marco Heinze getting gobbled up now. Marco Heinze, Rudy Betschart with their KTM. Not a trouble-free season for that pair, but really nice guys. Race leaders, Hermans, Ben van den Bogart. Absolutely in a class of their own here. Something like a 30-second lead they have over Marvin van Leeuwen at this point. There is Marvin van Leeuwen, the red plate holder. He and Nicolas Mousset. It's damage limitation for them, but there's Justin Kerben, Dion Rietman in 3rd place, maintaining the speed that they've brought into this new season. Going really well. But for that DNF in Herder, they'd be in a stronger place, but it's victory for Hermans and Ben van den Bogart. Over they go to take this checkered flag by a 36-second margin. Absolutely incredible. Van Leeuwen and Mousset bringing it home in 2nd. That'll do nicely for them, 22 points, keeping their championship strong. Kerben, 3rd place. Where did Etienne Bax get to? 4th, I can tell you. Astonishing. Up to 4th from well down the order, 2/3 of the way down. Ahead of Wilkinson, who made it to 5th, ahead of the Lealbardis boys. Heinze, Jason Van Dalen, Tim Prummer, those guys dropped backwards. The pace told a little bit.
Good start, top 3. So in the first lap, Justin Kerben overtake us and we could manage to follow the speed, but after 20 minutes I had it hard to finish the race. I had some struggling with some arm pump and my hands were sleeping, so it was a difficult race for me, but yeah, we managed to finish 8th, but at the end they were coming fast and then it was the survival of the fittest, I think.
We're happy about the result. Yeah, today it's a sand track. Yeah, we know we are not the fastest guys on the sand, but okay, the result is okay too. The most important here, I think, is the start. We start 2nd behind Koen, and then yeah, we follow around I think 10 minutes, and yeah, the deep line is coming, and yeah, was not really easy to follow him. And okay, Koen is sand riders, and but okay, the result is here, and yeah, one more race to be maybe better.
I'm with Henry, the organiser here at this fantastic Lange Motorkeskers complex here. It's just the most amazing thing. Henry, you've got a kart track, you've got a motocross track, you've got a facility second to none. Where did the idea come from?
I mean, it's every child's dream to have karting track and motocross track, I think. Yeah, it actually, I started riding myself in 2002, and then we had just, because we are farmers originally, and we had land here, so we thought, oh, it would be cool to make some motocross track. And we had like over 10 years just a motocross track, and then we like started thinking like, hey, my father used to be a karting driver, so it was his passion. So we started to look for opportunities to make a karting track, and then when we got the outdoor track finished, we thought the winter is so long in Estonia, we must build an indoor track also. So that's pretty much how it went.
Well, it is, as I say, a fantastic complex. When did you start running actual events? First of all, presumably national events, yes?
Yes. I'm sorry to all Estonians if I'm lying, but I think the first one was 2009. We hosted our first race here. We had Estonian championships here, some Latvian championship races here, and the first biggest event for us was the Junior World Championship in motocross in 2017 it was, and then yeah, now third year of Sidecar World Championships.
Well, all of the sidecar teams love the track. It's technical, it's challenging, and you can tell that whoever built this track understood jumps, the angle of jumps is just perfect, and I have to compliment you on that. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, if you look at the track, it's how I say, natural. You know, we just we see the hills and we take, okay, let's try uphill jump here, let's try tabletop here, and yeah, obviously we are planning to switch it up in coming years. So yeah, hopefully we can make it even more great.
Ambition, I guess, would be MXGP. I'm sure that's something that is on your wish list.
Yeah, it's been on our wish list for from 2015, but as everybody knows, without in Estonia or in Baltics, or I don't know, even in Nordic countries, it's not possible without government funding, and to this day we just couldn't get the money to organize the event. We are ready. I think the facilities is ready, and but it's just the funding is missing, because it's too much risk and to make it with your own money, you know.
Of course, I understand that. Well, it is a complex, isn't it? And now, race 2, the all-important race 2. Will Van Luckene hold the championship lead? The way Koen-Hermans is going, there's a lot of food for thought. Ben van der Bogart, 4 times a world champion passenger. Is he going to win a 5th with Koen-Hermans this year? Marvin van Luckene will have different thoughts about that. Race 2 is just around the corner. Do not go away. I'm certainly not. Right then, have a look, hard left, there's Hermans, hard left, Bax again, right over this side, gonna have to work for it. Yet again, Etienne Bax, that bad qualifying has put him right down the order, but it's Hermans from Van Luckene. And again, Jason Van Dalen getting a flyer. The red trousers of the 723 team. There you can see the Latvian crews at the back of the pack, not just making up the numbers, they've got a lot of support here, Latvians and Estonians. Bruma in the mix again. Just 21 crews made the start. Well, you wouldn't want too many more on this track, I can tell you. It's very, very tight. Not a lot of room for passing when the ruts dig out. Hermans leading, Van Luckene, Jason Van Dalen, Tim Bruma is in there. There's Bruma. Oh, Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, sideline, what? Mechanical problem for them. That is a catastrophe for the British crew. Are they going to get going again? Your guess is as good as mine. Justin Kurban, Dion Rietman ahead of Tim Bruma, Gert van Verven and Robert de Vena going better this time. You could tell by Gert van Verven's body language, not too happy this season for whatever reason. but he's going better in race 2 here. Jumping ahead of Bax. Bax and Cermak fighting through on their fellow countrymen. Well, Bax's fellow countryman, not Cermak's. He is Czech, of course, as we all know. And what a pairing they are, the reigning champions. Here they are, riding with them now. Gert van Verven, Robert Avena. Number 11 crew on the Italian engine TM. Oh, Wilkinson Millard in pit lane. Rob Wilkinson running to the rescue here. Can they get going? I don't know what the problem is. Neil Bardis boys going well. Kerben trailing Vandala. There comes Bax. Bax then on the back of a very fast bevy of teams. Not for long. Past Vandala he goes. Gert van Verven getting inspired, going past Jason Vandala, who admitted to tiring after 20 minutes, and I'm not surprised. This is hard going. You need to be brave over these big jumps, and you need to be able to hold on. Davy Sanders and Luke Rostang. Heinz Betschot, 93, trailing Tim Prumer. Tim Prumer fighting off then the left-handed chair. Over they come, and still Heinz pushing hard with Tim Prumer. Janos Stegmans on that inside. It's hard work down here over these jumps. There they go still, Prumer holding on. That's a big one. Oh, that's a very big one! Stegman's thrown out. Oh, that will have landed heavily. And look over the shoulder, Tim Prumer. Is his passenger okay? Hope so, the youngster. Young Belgian. Up on his feet. You okay? I think so. Yeah, I'm all right. Let's go. What about that? That's Sidecar Motocross for you. Goodness me. Race leaders, Hermans, Ben van der Bogart. No such dramas for them. Meanwhile, Prumer and Stegman's back on track and battling. That's what you need. That's the sort of guts and stamina you need. That bike semi-sideways. They're pushing hard. Second place still again in this one for Van Lukenen and Nicolas Mousset. Scoring precious points. If it stays this way, they'll come away having earned 44. Kerben, having been duffed up a bit by the Lille Bardis boys here. Etienne Bax making his way through. I reckon he's up to about 5th place at the moment. Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak, again making good ground. Hermans and Ben van der Bogart. Checkered flag for them. Another decent race-winning margin, but Van Lukenen not so far behind this time. Coming over to grab second place. It was indeed Daniel and Bruno, Lille Bardis, who made it to 3rd. That's their best Grand Prix race result ever. Fantastic. The Latvian supporters going bonkers in the crowd, I can tell you. Kerben and Dion Rietman have made it to a podium, an overall podium. And Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak, 5th place for them. Confirmation, Hermans, Van Lukenen, Lille Bardis, Kerben, Bax, Van Verven. What a respectable ride for the big Dutchman. Sanders, Heinze, Tom van der Lagermaat, and Brett Wilkinson, I can tell you, he and Joe Millard did get going again and battled round to score some points.
Amazing. It's finally on the podium after so much time, so much bad luck, so much everything. Finally it pays off. It's just amazing.
You were riding hard all weekend. It was always a distinct possibility. You were looking good. Did you find any difficult areas on the track?
Yeah, for sure. We felt good on the track all weekend actually. And the second heat, the track got really gnarly. But yeah, we knew we were on the way to the podium, so we just kept it on the wheels and bring it on.
Yeah, for us it was a really hard weekend. The feeling on the track was quite not so good, but okay, I'm really happy today with 2 second places. Koen and Ben were the strongest this weekend, so I think we need to be happy with the team and yeah, looking forward to next week.
Couple of difficult areas. The start was always going to be risky, and the jumps, they were tough.
Yeah, the start was important like always, but the jumps are very risky with the ruts and the lines and the bumps, and yeah, it was not easy, but yeah, I'm happy that we can make it to the podium, and yeah, let's see what next weekend will bring.
Well, you dug deep and it paid off. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, true. It was a perfect weekend. 2 times whole shot yesterday also. We had a good pace and I think we were the strongest this weekend. We are closing the gap a little bit, so we are now second again in the championship. And we try to close the gap every week. It's hard and today we were the best, so I'm very happy.
And we move on, of course, to a track nobody's been to before, so that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
It's a new track now for most of the riders. It will be a difficult track, but yeah, I'm sure that WSC makes good conditions with the organizer and it will be okay.
And where are we with the standings? 229, Van Lukenen, 204, so they're closing in, 25 points. 190 back, still there. Kerben strongly now in 4th place. Wilkinson holding 5th, well done. And they're a safe margin ahead of Simons. Further down the order, Marco Heinz are just outside the top 10. The French boys didn't come to play. Come on, fellas. Well, a good overall here. A great event in Lange in Estonia. This has been a terrific weekend. We move on now to Gdansk in Poland. What sort of track will they find there? I am so looking forward to it. From me, Barry Nutley, and all of us here at WSC. Thank you for watching. Join us again.
We never stop, so going when you finish. And even when we bleed, still believe that we can win this. We got what's underneath, you're all about that image. We never even stop at the top, no limits. Champions, and we're the champions. And we're the champions. And we're the champions. So bring it on.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin Van Lukenen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.